according to proven history, it has been found that all human beings who even live in the United States of America or elsewhere, all of them originated or came from Turkana County.
The National Construction Authority, NCA, is the legal body mandated to regulate the construction industry and coordinate its development. The authority, in partnership with KBC Channel 1, invites you for an accreditation drive and safety sensitization exercise under the theme Usalama kwa Ujenzi on Tuesday, 3rd October, 10th Street, Eastleigh. There will be entertainment and free education on matters of construction in Kenya. Come meet your favorite presenters and artists including Juakali, Mgenge, Dufla and Diligon. The exercise shall kick off from 9 a.m. from 10th Street, Eastleigh, next to Huduma Center, where we shall offer accreditation for construction workers and site supervisors. To be accredited, please carry a copy of your national ID, passport size photos, copies of academic certificates or recommendation letter from an NCA registered contractor. This exercise shall then be followed by a roadshow flagged off by the Kamukunji Constituency Member of Parliament, Honorable Abdi Yusuf Hassan. The roadshow will proceed to Shauri Moyo, Majengo, Bahati, Kariobangi, Fedha, Pipeline, Kayole, Dandora, Kangundo Road, Mwiki, Kasarani, and end at Roysambu. Jenga Haki, Jenga Smart. The National Construction Authority, promoting excellence in the construction industry.
Good evening. We are officially into the last quarter of 2023, being the 1st of October. On that very same year, you're just in time for comprehensive news coverage right here on Sunday Express on KBC Channel 1, on a day that government has promised that the upgrade of one of Africa's largest slums is going to be done in 10 years. The details will be coming up in not too long. But first things first, the highlights.
Hii Kibera slum iko hapa na zile slum ziko Nairobi. Kwanza hii ya Kibera, in 10 years hakutakuwa na slum hapa. There will be no slum. Hii tutakuwa tumeibadilisha, imekuwa estate.
Kibera's planned facelift. President William Ruto says government will transform Kibera slums into an estate in 10 years. Dominating the tracks, Kenya tops the inaugural World Road Running Championships in Riga. That's even as Perez Jepchirchir, Beatrice Chebet and Sebastian Sawe bag gold medals. And throwing away the proverbial box, we feature a group of youth in Kisumu who are turning environmental waste into beautiful art pieces.
Good evening, this is Sunday Express and I am Regina Manyara. My colleague on sign language interpretation is none other than Byron Abuli. Now the government says it will transform the country's largest slum, Kibera, into an estate within 10 years. President William Ruto says, who was in Langata actually, says the constituency prayer service says the process of upgrading Kibera into an estate has kicked off under the affordable housing program and is expected to be complete by 2032. Our reporter Frederick Pasayo has the details.
President William Ruto was at the Deliverance Church in Lang'ata constituency, Nairobi. It is here that the president revealed the government's plans to transform Kibera slums.
Hii Kibera slum iko hapa na zile slums ziko Nairobi. Kwanza hii ya Kibera, in 10 years hakutakuwa na slum hapa. There will be no slum. Hii tutakuwa tumeibadilisha imekuwa estate. Na Mungu atatujalia itafanyika.
The president was accompanied by a host of leaders, including Governor Johnson Sakaja and Principal Secretary for Lands Nixon Korir. The former MP for Lang'ata constituency now says already the process of transforming the slum had kicked off under the affordable housing program, which is also expected to create job opportunities.
Tunajenga nyumba 1,200 Kenya mzima. Hapa Nairobi peke yake, mpango yetu ni kwamba in the next 5 years tuwe tumejenga at least nyumba 1,200. Tuhakikisha kwamba vijana wale wako Nairobi hapa wanapata ajira. Na vile vile tunaondoa watu kwa slum.
We also appreciate that we have housing, which is also absorbing most of our youth.
We are focused on delivering the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, the Kenya Kwanza government manifesto, na tutafika.
The leaders accompanying the president used the opportunity to caution those who had grabbed public land that their days are numbered.
Zile public utilities zote ambazo zilikuwa zimechukuliwa siweze kurejea, ndio watoto wetu wapate pale pa kuchezea, mashule zetu zizikwe grabbed, tuhakikishe kuwa public utility is maintained.
The question of unemployment featured prominently, with the president revealing that the government had entered into bilateral agreements with different countries to export labor.
Tunakamilisha bilateral labor agreements na nchi karibu 12 mahali wanataka Wakenya wafanye kazi, na tumebadilisha sasa. Wakenya hawataenda kufanya sasa ati kazi ya domestic work ile ya tumekuwa tukisumbuana nayo. Sasa we have signed bilateral agreements ambayo ni ya semi-skilled, skilled jobs and professional jobs.
The president also revisited the need for young people to invest in technical skills, adding that the government has sponsored 45,000 learners to join TVETs.
Ni lazima tuweke elimu msingi kamili, kwa sababu elimu ndio itatusaidia human capital ya Kenya iwe mahali ambapo tunaweza kuitumia kuhakikisha kwamba tunabadilisha uchumi wetu.
He further called upon leaders to work together for the sake of Kenyans, while adding that the government was adequately prepared for the El Nino rains as it moves to ensure the country is food secure.
We've started with the regional commander, with all the DCCs, with our sub-county admins, our disaster teams. We're going to publish areas where people must move. There are some areas where we will need to move people because we're just timing.
Kwa sababu miaka 60 baada ya kuwa taifa huru, haifai kuwa bado tuko na matatizo ya njaa. We are supposed to have sorted out the challenge of food in our country. So tumeweka bidii, nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba tutahakikisha ya kwamba tunawasaidia wakulima wetu, supporting our farmers so that we can grow adequate food.
Parsai Frederick, Sunday Express.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has urged Meru leaders to prioritize the unity of the region and amicably help resolve differences between the governor, Kawira Mwangaza, and the MCAs. Gachagua noting the constant bickering was affecting development and political unity of the region. As Abdiaziz Hashim now reports, Mwangaza could find herself before the Senate once more if Meru MCAs go ahead with the planned impeachment.
For the second time in a span of 2 months, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has pitched tent in Meru County. It is here where the country's second-in-command found himself addressing the same issues that have dogged the leadership of Meru County.
Viongozi wamekuja kwangu, tumeongea. Nimeongea na Governor Kawira. Nimeongea na Deputy Governor. Na pole sana. Nilikwambia hii maneno ya siasa, hapana chukua very seriously. Ati ukishituliwa kidogo unaona hospitali. Wachana na hiyo maneno. Wewe simama.
Lakini usichukue siasa uingize kwa moyo ndani. Pumua siasa nje na ndani, usonge mbele.
Rigathi is saying the wrangles that have affected service delivery to the residents of Meru County should come to an end.
Hao viongozi watu ya kanisa wameuliza Rais William Ruto na mimi tukae kando.
Vizuri kila mtu tuwe tunaenda safari pamoja. Ukiona wewe unabaki peke yako ujue wewe uko na kasoro kidogo.
Speaking at Cairo Methodist Church in Igembe North, Meru County, Gachagua urged the mountain to speak in one voice to maintain their political influence ahead of the 2027 polls.
Mimi ningetaka kuomba gavana, deputy governor, senator, Medeka Lenturi, watu ya kanisa, muketi and decide what is good for Meru.
Members of the Meru County Assembly have threatened to impeach the governor 10 months after she survived another ouster before the Senate. Elsewhere, National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah has condemned utterances made by ACK Archbishop Jackson Ole Sepit.
Viongozi wa kanisa wakitukosoa ni sawa, lakini iko viongozi wengine wa kanisa imekuwa sio kukosoa, ni matusi. Na nimemsikiza kwa heshima Ole Sepit.
Meanwhile, a section of church leaders have called on the National Dialogue Committee members to reconcile ahead of their meeting on Monday for the sake of the nation.
Kwa ajili ya ile bipartisan talk, yale ambayo inaendelea katika taifa letu la Kenya, naomba rais pamoja na Raila Amolo Odinga waweze kuongoza jambo hili kwa njia ya amani, wapatane vizuri.
Finally, members of the Kikuyu Council of Elders are calling on elected leaders from Murang'a to shun divisions and unite for the benefit of the community.
We value strictly the togetherness of the people of Kenya because we know that way we, the Kikuyu community and others, will thrive.
Abdiaziz Hashim for Sunday Express.
We'll wait and see what happens to Governor Kawira Mwangaza. Now, 20 government houses worth 345 million shillings have been repossessed by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission as the anti-graft body steps up its efforts in fighting graft. EACC South Reef Regional Manager Godfrey Oyugi says the houses within Nakuru town had been grabbed by private individuals but were surrendered back to the public after a protracted but successful court battle. The commission now says it has embarked on reverting the houses to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. As Timothy Kipnusu reports, a prime 5-acre piece of government land is also among the public assets recovered from unscrupulous private developers.
The campaign to recover government houses in private hands has begun in earnest, with the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission in Nakuru cautioning against looting government houses.
Now, the recovery was through a civil suit filed by Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission against 3 individuals, namely Saleh Chepkole, Titus Kemboi, former Commissioner of Lands, Wilson Gachanja, and 2 private entities.
Speaking while inspecting the repossessed house units in Nakuru, EACC South Rift Regional Manager Godfrey Oyugi revealed that the civil servants are lawfully occupying their houses and paying rent to the government, but after remitting occupancy fees to private individuals and their proxies.
It will take a while, but the occupants of the houses, as we speak, are government employees and they are lawfully occupying those houses. So we will not be seeking their ejection. What we sought in court was to have the legal transfer to these private individuals to revert to the government.
This comes just a week after the Nakuru Environment and Land Court nullified all transactions, leading to the dubious transfer of the recovered land in order that the asset be registered in the name of Treasury Permanent Secretary in trust on behalf of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development.
In the judgment, the court upheld the Commission's submissions that at the time of allocation, the land was government property and as such was not available for allocation in any manner whatsoever to the defendants or any other person, and therefore all the transactions were declared to be fraudulent, illegal, null and void, and conferred no interest or right in or over the suit property to the registered owners.
Yugi noted that some corrupt public servants conspire with private individuals to allocate land and house to themselves. The commission says it will continue to press criminal charges against individuals who corruptly acquire title deeds. This even as he urged persons in possession of grabbed public land in the region to surrender the titles to the commission voluntarily. Timothy Kipnusu for Sunday Express.
The Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims has spelled out a raft of new protocols for Muslim faithful planning to travel for Hajj next year in June. In the new protocols, the council says Kenya will only send 4,500 pilgrims from the 10,000 available slots, citing harsh economic times. At the same time, those planning to travel have until the 17th of this month to pay at least 20% of the funds for transmission to the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, or risk being locked out. The council has also urged those planning to travel to work with the 50 approved agents to avoid being duped.
The Hajj season for the year 2024 kicked off, setting the stage for 4,500 Muslim faithful from Kenya to attend the annual religious event. Unlike previous years, the 2024 Hajj season commenced immediately after the conclusion of the 2023 Hajj, in line with the new measures put in place by the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Taratibu ya mwaka hii ni tofauti na mwaka zilizopita ambao watu walikuwa natoa visa mpaka siku ya mwisho ya Hajj. Mwaka hii haiwezekani. Mwaka hii inafungwa mwezi moja kabla Hajj.
The Supreme Council of Kenya has now issued new protocols for those planning to travel. Among them, the council says Kenya will send 4,500 pilgrims, citing the harsh economic times.
This year, for example, we have already sorted out the issue. We have already identified airlines that are going to travel to carry Kenyans, and we have even agreed with the proposed dates of how the airlines will be able to carry those Kenyans. It is basically meant to make the process seamless.
Tunataka watu wetu wajiandae by the end of Shawwal, kila mtu amelipa pesa yake, ame-identify his airline, amepata tikiti yake, amepata visa yake.
The council also says it has vetted and approved only 50 agents, down from 77 last year, in line with the new protocols, urging those travelling to avoid working with brokers and only deal with registered agents. They also announced the deadline for submission of 20% of the funds was 17th of October, and the balance paid by 1st March, when the visa application process will commence until the 29th of April 2024.
Muhimu tujue kwamba baada ya kulipa zile asilimia 20, Wakenya pia watatarajiwa wafanye bidii zaidi kwamba pesa zote ambazo zinahitajika kwa shughuli ya Hajj ipatikane kwa kufikia tarehe 1 mwezi wa March mwaka 2024, kwa sababu siku hiyo ndio siku itafunguliwa visa rasmi ya Hajj.
Lakini mambo muhimu sana kabisa ni Hajj imeanza, na vile serikali ya Saudi walisema watu wanafaa kulipa deposit ya 20% of the Hajj money.
No application will be entertained. They also called on the Department of Immigration to fast-track the issuance of passports to those planning to travel.
Na tunaomba sasa serikali ianze mambo ya kufacilitate passport. Na tunaambia watu Waislamu wote wajiandae. Yule mtu ambaye anataka kufanya hii nguzo wa 5 wa dini ya Kiislamu, ambaye ni muhimu sana, ajiandae, aanze kujiandaa sahihi, kwa sababu mambo imebadilika.
The new measures are aimed at enhancing the overall travel journey for Hajj pilgrims, streamlining the entry process, and ensuring a seamless and secure pilgrimage experience.
That report by Adam there, the numbers speak for themselves. The Hajj pilgrims down to 4,500 slots from the earlier 10,000 slots. We take a quick breather. We'll be back with more. Do not go away.
na Lucky Game, ikiwa ni ngurumo ya pikipiki sasa inaelekea mitaani. Ikiwa mshindi wetu wa leo wa pikipiki ni Joseph Kamau. Delivery tutaifanya. Simefika Ruiru, nani yako? Ogio. Kifungu ndio hiyo yako. Hiyo moto.
Nilikuwa nimejaribu siku kama 3 hivi. Nimeshida hii pikipiki Honda.
Amekabidhiwa mpaka stakabadhi zote. Yote inafanyika katika Lucky Game. Mita na ta 570. Shinda pesa moto.
County Government of Turkana welcomes you to the Ehale Center in Lodwar Town for the 7th edition of the Turkana Cultural and Tourism Festival. From the 12th to the 14th of October 2023. Come, experience the origin of mankind with its unmatched beauty from the beaches of Lake Turkana to the oil wells of Lokichar. Live on Channel 1, Radio Taifa and KBC Turkana Service.
Now, welcome back. You're still watching Sunday Express on KBC Channel 1. Now, preparations are underway to receive President William Ruto in Nyanza region for a development tour next week. The president is expected to inspect ongoing projects and commission a myriad of other multi-billion shillings projects in the region. Speaking ahead of the planned tour, ICT and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo called on residents of Nyanza to embrace government's development initiatives, noting that the government is ready to serve people of Nyanza without any prejudice.
President William Ruto will be making another working trip to Luo Nyanza as he seeks to woo the
We will be revisiting that report, Bachelor Simon, in not too long. Now, the Architectural Association of Kenya has been urged to embrace a Real Estate and Regulation Bill of 2023 before the Senate to safeguard the interests of its members. This is after the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya and Estate Agents Regulations Board rejected the bill sponsored by Trans Nzoia Senator Alan Chesang. Speaking during the International Federation of Landscape Architects World Congress event in Nairobi, Mwingi Central Member of Parliament Gideon Mulangui, who represents Kenya and Africa in the International Union of Architects, urged architects to maintain integrity in devolved units, where he noted corruption has been on the rise. With that, we are going to be taking a quick breather owing to a technical hitch, but we'll be back. Do not go away. Thank you for staying with us. Now on that architectural beat, where the Association of Kenya has been urged to reinterrogate the Real Estate Regulation Bill of 2023 before the Senate to safeguard the interest of its members. This is after the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya and Estate Agents Regulations Board rejected the bill sponsored by Trans Nzoia Senator Alan Chisang. Speaking during an International Federation of Landscape Architects World Congress event in Nairobi, Mwingi Central MP Gideon Muliangui, who represents Kenya and Africa in the International Union of Architects, urged architects to maintain integrity in devolved units, where he noted corruption has been on the rise.
Want to urge AK to also develop interest on those regulations to make sure that they look at them with a toothpick and ensure that the interests of their members are catered for before the regulations are passed by Parliament.
Now to that story once again. The preparations are underway to receive President William Ruto in Trans Nzoia region for a development tour next week. The president is expected to inspect ongoing projects and commission a myriad of other multi-billion shillings projects within the region. Speaking ahead of the planned tour, ICT and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo called on residents of Nyanza to embrace government's development initiatives, noting that the government is ready to serve the people of Nyanza without any prejudice.
President William Ruto will be making another working trip to Luo Nyanza as he seeks to woo the region that has traditionally voted for the opposition.
As you are aware, hosting a head of state is no mean feat. So we are carrying everybody on board, ensuring that all the integral stakeholder segments become part and parcel of the preparations for the visit, so that we have a fruitful visit and a tour, a reception befitting of the head of state.
In the 4-day visit, the president is expected to inspect ongoing projects as well as commission construction of multi-billion projects that seeks to significantly improve the economic standing of the region.
And he will be visiting Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay and Migori County to either inspect, launch or commission a number of development projects. In Kisumu, more specifically, he will visit a project in Nyando constituency, the fisheries project at Kabonyo Kanyagwal. He will visit the road in Koru that is being tarmacked. He'll visit the Lake Basin Mall. He will also visit the port. There is a new ship that has been built from scratch that will be commissioned.
In a consultative meeting with political leaders, government appointees and grassroots leaders, ICT and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo and Interior Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo called on the political leadership and the locals to stand up in their numbers to welcome the president.
We have had meetings with a critical component of the elected members of parliament from this region. We are also engaging the leadership of the county governments, okay? So that nobody is left behind.
So we were working today to just plan and prepare for that visit to make it successful, and we are also calling upon the people of Nyanza to welcome and receive the president during his tour.
The leaders remained non-committal if the president will operate from the region, as has been witnessed in the past when on a working trip in Western Kenya and coastal region. This is the latest trip amongst many that the president has made in the region, reiterating that all regions will benefit from government development initiatives regardless of their political affiliation. Achola Simon, Sunday Express, Kisumu County.
Dock Workers Union want the government to involve them in the planned expansion of the Mombasa port. Led by Union Secretary General Simon Sang, the union is proposing a 7-day period during which stakeholders comprising the Kenya Ports Authority, county government and local communities in the coastal region can gather and engage with experts to gain a comprehensive understanding of the planned expansion. The dock workers have expressed concern that the planned changes might lead to loss of jobs for a section of workers. The government has since pronounced itself on the port debate, saying its intention is to expand the port so that it can serve the neighboring countries.
What is concession?
That is what everybody wants to know. And the only best forum to know that is when we have a forum, which we have suggested, that we need to be given 7 days for all stakeholders to sit together, bring on board the expert to be able to explain. The best we need to do is to have a round table. Let us look at what is concessioning. Let us look at what is privatization. Let us see which option are we going for as a country. Tuki-concession, there is a possibility ya kwamba gradually itaenda mpaka tuseme 5,000. Lakini kule nje watabuni kazi 1,000 tuseme 100,000. So there is a plus outside to the bigger economy and a minus to the entity of Kenya Ports Authority.
Now, the Holy Bible, translated in Pokomo language, was dedicated in a colorful ceremony in Tana River County that saw hundreds of Christians faithful from the coast region in attendance. The community hailed the move after more than 3 decades of waiting to translate the Bible at a cost of more than 100 million shillings. Our reporter Kasichana Marsha has the details of the colorful event.
Christian faithful from various denominations put their best foot forward to do a jig in celebration of the achievement that has taken more than 3 decades to achieve. The mood was festive at Doswe African Island Church, Tana River County. Several church leaders, political leaders, and Christian faithful gathered for the unveiling and dedication of the Holy Book that was translated into the local Pokomo dialect.
Friends among the Pokomo, please do consider the Bible that we are putting into your hands very valuable.
Bible Translation Literacy National Director Peter Munguti says it took 38 years to translate the Christian Holy Scriptures into the Pokomo language, an exercise that cost more than 140 million shillings to complete.
For the 38 years, we have spent 140 million plus in the actual translation.
According to Munguti, translation of the Bible into local languages is tedious.
Translating the Bible in local languages is not very easy. It is a very complicated task.
What we realized, even in the early systems of education, the mother tongue is when people learn things very fast.
Mimi nimefurahi kupata Biblia kwa lugha ya mamangu.
Senate Speaker Amason Kingi, who graced the fete, lauded the initiative, saying it will go a long way in ensuring that Christians are not misled through misinterpretation of scriptures written in other languages.
Kwa sababu ya kukosa Biblia ya lugha hii, tunataka nafsi nyingi sasa ziingie katika mwili wa Kristo kwa sababu ya Biblia ya Kipokomo.
Tusipowafundisha watoto wetu, ndio tunapoteza watu kwa mafundisho mapotovu.
Plans to convert the Bible to audio format are underway as the church aims at spreading the Holy Scriptures. Kasi Chinamasha, Sunday Express.
Quick one, do you have a Bible that is translated in your native language? Well, at least for one, I know that the Ameru have their Bible translated into Kimeru so we can read it, and also the Agekoyo. In not too long, when we speak sports, we'll be waiting to hear from Bernardo, who is already on set to bring you up to speed with what has been happening from the sporting arena. If those who speak the Luo language have that particular Bible translated into their native language. But before we get to sports, let's bring you up to speed with what has been happening across the counties, where the Senate committee probing the Shakahola tragedy says it will require more time to conclude investigations. This is according to the chairperson of the committee and Tana River Senator Danson Mungatana. Mungatana says the committee is still collecting information and views from the public, urging Kenyans to be patient. This and more in our county news briefs.
Kenyans will now have to wait a little longer for the findings of the Senate committee on what transpired in the Shakahola tragedy. This is after the chair of the committee, Senator Danson Mungatana, who was in Tana River, said they're still receiving testimonies from witnesses.
Tungojee kwanza tusikize mashahidi ambao wamebaki, alafu ndio tutafunga. Mungu akipenda mwezi huu wa 10 tutatoa ripoti kamili.
Elsewhere, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi attended a church service in Nyeri County where recovering drug addicts rehabilitated and her boy child program were in attendance.
But due to alcoholism, I was not able to continue. But now my mind is sober and I'll be able to work if given a chance.
Speaking after the church service, Pastor Dorcas said she is working to ensure they get job placements and those who dropped out of school resume learning.
Sometimes I'm overwhelmed because what came first, if you had seen them, and many of you may have seen them, and what God has done this, we can't take credit. I think it is a miracle.
Separately, 3 Quakers Friends Church in Kakamega will construct fish ponds in the church compound to teach locals about fish farming.
Wote tunataka waingie katika hiyo mradi wa kuweka samaki na kufanya mambo kuhusu agriculture.
Church members have already started preparing the fish ponds in Matawa, Mumias Town and Shibale churches. And the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, Embu branch, conducted a sensitization workshop for all female teachers in the county on ways to cope with mental illnesses.
We need to sensitize them on the times that we are living in and chart a way forward on how we are going to live going forward.
Finally, Kenya National Union of Teachers has faulted the Teacher Service Commission for failing to adequately address issues affecting teachers, such as the delocalization headache. Similar sentiments were expressed by Kakamega Governor Fernandez Barasa.
Tuko na walimu ambao bado they are serving in other counties, and again this is a matter which will bring up to our education committee so that all those teachers who are delocalized lazima warudi nyumbani.
Kasi Chinomasha, Sunday Express.
Now from the counties, we take a quick breather, but do not go away. We still have more, including some very good news from the sporting arena. We'll be back.
The National Construction Authority, NCA, is the legal body mandated to regulate the construction industry and coordinate its development. The authority, in partnership with KBC Channel 1, invites you for an accreditation drive and safety sensitization exercise under the theme Usalama kwa Ujenzi on Tuesday, 3rd October, 10th Street, Eastleigh. There will be entertainment and free education on matters of construction in Kenya. Come meet your favorite presenters and artists including Juakali, Mgenge, Dufla and Diligon. The exercise shall kick off from 9 a.m. from 10th Street, Eastleigh, next to Huduma Center, where we shall offer accreditation for construction workers and site supervisors. To be accredited, please carry a copy of your national ID, passport size photos, copies of academic certificates or recommendation letter from an NCA registered contractor. This exercise shall then be followed by a roadshow flagged off by the Kamukunji Constituency Member of Parliament, Honorable Abdi Yusuf Hassan. The roadshow will proceed to Shauri Moyo, Majengo, Bahati, Kariobangi, Fedha, Pipeline, Kayole, Dandora, Kangundo Road, Mwiki, Kasarani, and end at Roysambu. Jenga Haki, Jenga Smart. The National Construction Authority, promoting excellence in the construction industry.
Tuache kudanganyana. Hapa mali safi, mali mbichi, kijani kibichi. Tuko Lucky Game, tunashibishana. Dial *570 hash. Chagua sanduku ya Lucky Game. Utapata sanduku 7 zinakungoja mahali pale. Chagua yako. Mali kibao, tuko na viti, tuko na vifriji hapa, tuko na TV, tuko na microwave, na pia tuko na chapa. All happening kwa *570 hash. Jishibishe.
You're still watching Sunday Express. Now, the high youth employment drove 32-year-old Raymond Odhiambo to think outside the box to eco living. This would result in the birth of Wolf Arts Organization, a social organization specializing in climate change activities. It is from this organization that he changed his story from that of a job seeker to a job creator. Weekly Fokech shares his story, not only to protect the environment, but also create employment opportunities.
Lake Victoria serves as the economic lifeline for many households. However, in the wake of climate change, the livelihood of families who rely on its waters are under threat.
The negative effects of climate change are arguably now clear to all and sundry. Here on the shores of Lake Victoria, various environment ambassadors have taken it upon themselves to clear the shores of any solid waste material. The culture of pollution, however, seems to have persisted, considering these randomly discarded plastic containers.
32-year-old Raymond Odhiambo, born and bred in the lakeside city of Kisumu, is one of the many environment lovers who have taken a step to conserve the water body. It is from his love of the environment that he birthed an organization aimed at cleaning up the water that is constantly exposed to pollutants.
We have issues with the old clothes being thrown into the lake. Sometimes the fishermen clean the boats with them and then they throw them back to the lake, or some of them find their ways through erosion through the rivers to the lake.
Odhiambo and his team are often seen on the shores of the lake collecting solid waste materials such as plastic bottles, worn-out tires and old clothes. They use these materials to turn them into beautiful works of art, giving credence to the analogy, one man's meat is another man's poison.
There's an Englishman who puts it lightly, and he mentioned that doing what you like is freedom, but liking what you do is happiness. So part of our happiness is the creativity that we inject into it. So normally, before we create something, we have to design it. We design it and have a sketch. What do we want to make?
Here at their workshop in Mamboleo, Kisumu, lie piles of solid waste materials that are hazardous to the environment but are a gem to them.
So we make seats, we make flower vases, we make ornaments such as bookshelves, and a lot of things that we are creating from the waste product around the lake.
Soon, Raymond welcomes us to his showroom in the heart of the city center. We find a collection of artworks made from the waste materials we saw earlier at his workshop that could have easily passed as piles of garbage.
Normally people campaign that we go and collect the waste, you leave them around the lake and then they are swept back to the lake. So you're just doing something that is continuous but it's not helping.
So where did it all begin for Raymond and his team?
The population living around Lake Victoria depends on fish. And if you look at now the stretch that we have with the issues of scarcity of fish, it can only support up to 60%. So where does 40% goes to? So that's why we came up with UFATS Kisumu also to sort the issues of economic empowerment.
Sustainability through creativity is their driving mantra. This way, they are able to earn a living even as they partake in the climate change mitigation cause.
UFATS have been helpful to women, mostly as me. When you make something, you can get some finance to buy what you want.
The organization seeks to leverage on the new competency-based curriculum to inculcate the spirit of environmental conservation among learners.
So we are bringing the arts products and we are bringing the art activities to school, and we teach children because they are the owners of the future.
They have also leveraged on partnerships to build capacity.
We are able to collaborate with the MSMEs from different business backgrounds, arts being one of them. and that is how we got in touch with the Wolferts, and through the same we've been able to now work together to ensure that we are able to support him.
We were able to go for industrial attachment in areas that we are specialized. So I was able to visit industries that are dealing with the waste management in terms of plastic recycling, and generally industries that are doing well in the plastic modeling, how bottles are made. So I was able to see a bigger picture of me.
It is, however, not always a smooth sail for the team, who have to grapple with the reality of high operational costs and intellectual theft of their designs.
There are people that are there to destroy other people's work. They want to reap where they did not sow. So you would find that your art product, somebody comes and buy your art product, and then the following day they are branded with their own logos, and they say they are the original producers of such.
The initiative by Raymond and his team serves as a reminder to the youth to tap into their talent and change the narrative from one of employee to that of employer through innovation and creativity, as well as have a positive impact in protecting the environment.
You can grow small bit by bit so that you ensure that you are not walking around with brown envelope everywhere, and a lot of dust, with a lot of sweating, looking for a job. If job find you, well and good. If it doesn't find you, be an employment creator.
And they need to take it seriously. It shouldn't be because you are getting into this business because it is your second option. I lacked employment, then I went into this business. It needs to be targeted. You need to be very purposeful about this.
For Channel 1, I am Wycliffe Okage.
My take home from that piece is that what is disregarded or what is waste can actually be what is required to jumpstart several businesses. As they say, you need to look for an opportunity, not necessarily that job. If it finds you, fine. Well, you need to think outside the box. Now, before we delve into matters sports, I'd asked your question, do you have a Bible translated into your native language? And my colleague Bernard just informed me that he does not come from Nyanza but Budalangi, and he speaks the Luo. So, the Luo. Bernard, before you bring us up to speed with what has been happening in the sporting arena, would want to know, do you have a Bible translated into your native language?
Yeah, and yes, indeed, Regina, thank you so much. And you know, my language is Luya, Mnyala. That's from Budalangi. So we have the Bible translated in Lunyala. That was done in 1934 when the white man first set the Catholic Church in our area. So it's been great. Our people have been being nourished spiritually in a way that they understand.
Well, then take it away.
Thank you so much, Regina. And indeed, we begin with the good news from Riga, that's in Latvia, where the road running, road running did happen today. And Olympic marathon champion Peres Jepchirchir, world cross country champion Beatrice Chebet and Sebastian Sawe all bagged gold medals in the inaugural World Road Running Championships in Riga, Latvia, to propel Kenya to finish tops in the one-day event. Now, Kenya also won team gold medals in the 2 half marathons to take its final medal tally to 12 medals, 5 gold, 3 silver and 4 bronze medals, and win the overall title ahead of arch rivals Ethiopia, who finished second with 7 medals.
Well, no gun, just the go from...
Kenyan runners today registered exemplary performance in the inaugural World Athletics Road Running Championship in Riga, Latvia, after bagging 12 medals to top the medal standings. World cross-country champion Beatrice Chebet was the first to win a gold medal for Kenya in the one-day event.
Okay, on the road, and look at the clock too. It is indeed super fast, and Beatrice Chebet takes gold.
After she stormed to victory in the women's 5-kilometer race. Chebet clocked 14 minutes and 35 seconds to emerge victorious, beating her compatriot Lilian Kasait Rangeruk to the second spot.
In Latvia, in Riga, she is champion once more. Look at the time.
Olympic champion Peres Jepchirchir led a clean medal sweep for Kenya in the half-marathon race after clocking 1 hour 7 minutes and 25 seconds to emerge victorious 1 second ahead of Margaret Chelimo. Catherine Amanangole finished third in 1 hour and 7 minutes and 34 seconds. In the men's half-marathon, Kenya has also made a clean sweep of podium positions. Sebastian Sawe printed and overtook world silver medalist Daniel Ebenyo in the final stretch to win a gold medal in 59 minutes and 10 seconds, 4 seconds ahead of Ebenyo. Samuel Mailu was third in 59 minutes and 19 seconds. In the men's 5-kilometer competition, Kenya won a bronze medal after Nicholas Kipkorir finished third in 13 minutes and 16 seconds. Ethiopia's Hagos Gibrewet clocked 12 minutes and 59 seconds to win a gold medal ahead of his compatriot Yomif Gechelcha, who was a silver medal. World record holder Faith Kipyegon lost her first race of the season after she finished third in a mile race behind Ethiopia's Deri Bwetelji and Freewayn Hailu, who won gold and silver respectively. Nelly Jepchirchir finished fourth. Joy Nabwile for Sunday Express.
Thank you so much, Joy Nabwile, for that fantastic story from Riga, Latvia, where Kenya did roll the roast in the inaugural road running race. And now to local sports, where Mombasa Stars won the first Coastal National Super League derby after edging out SS Assad 3-1 in a hotly contested match at Mbaraki Stadium in Mombasa. Meanwhile, 48 soccer teams in Kasarani constituency have benefited from 1.3 million shilling sponsorship booster from area Member of Parliament Ronald Karauri.
Brian Mariah scored a brace as Mombasa Stars thrashed SS Assad 3-1 at the Mbaraki Stadium to register the first Coastal Derby win of the 2023-2024 National Super League season. SS Assad scored a consolation goal at the start of the second half, but Mombasa Stars added a third in the 77th minute. Meanwhile, Kisumu County Governor Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o and his Kakamega County counterpart Ferdinand Barasa are crying foul after the Western region was not considered as one of the hosts of the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations finals. The duo says that the region has more soccer lovers compared to Eldoret, which is widely known for athletics. Their sentiments were echoed by Kisumu Central Member of Parliament Joshua Oron.
For the sake of the growth of football in Kenya, Kisumu and Kakamega qualify for new stadia. Kisumu and Kakamega are home to galaxy of football talents and should be considered for new sport facilities. These two counties have produced more football stars than many counties combined in Kenya.
In Nairobi, 48 soccer teams from Kasarani constituency have benefited from 1.3 million shillings donated by the area Member of Parliament Ronald Karori in a bid to improve the standards of the game in the area.
Tumechagua team tano, one team from each ward. Wapate sponsorship. Sawa? Sponsorship. Your sponsorship ishikilie mambo ya logistics. Watu waache kulipa fare, alafu players pia wakuwe wanapata malipo, si ndio?
For Sunday Express, I'm Fred Njogu.
And to more soccer news, FC Leopards failed to register their first win of the season in the FKF Premier League after being held to a 1-1 draw by Shabana FC at the Ulinzi Complex in Nairobi. Now, Brian Hammer put Leopards ahead in 14th minute before Peter Ogechi equalized in 22nd minute for Shabana. Both teams are yet to register a win this season. In other matches, defending champions Gor Mahia were held to a 1-1 draw by KCB at Nyayo National Stadium, while former champions Tusker played to a barren draw against Atalanta FC at Ruaraka grounds. Bandari was beaten 1-0 at their backyard in Mombasa by Kakamega Homeboys. And Maroon FC beat South Sea United 3-0 in the inaugural Sakaja Super Cup tournament that was held today at Police Sacco Stadium in Nairobi. Meanwhile, Mukuru Combined beat Creative FC 6-2. The event championship, which brings together 340 teams from all the 17 Nairobi sub-counties, will end on 16th of December.
South Sea United suffered a 3-0 loss to Maroon FC at the Sakaja Super Cup tournament held today at the Police Eco Stadium. Meanwhile, Mukuru combined humiliated FC Creative 6-2 in a thrilling match held in the same venue. About 340 teams drawn from all 17 sub-counties in Nairobi are taking part in the 3-month soccer extravaganza that will pave way for more tournaments which will bring on board all other sports.
Finally, we've started off the Super Cup, Sakaja Super Cup. Of course, our motivation comes from the core of our manifesto, which is a city of order and dignity, but hope and opportunities. There are a lot of talent that is out there in all our 17 constituencies, in our 85 wards. But for a long time, people have now had the chance, to be showcased, to come and play at this level, to compete for real money.
Winners of the tournament will take home 3 million Kenya shillings, while the second and third place winners get 2 million and 1 million respectively. The finals will be held on 16th of December. Faith Akinyi for Sunday Express.
And from Sakaja Super Cup to EPL now, where 10-man Nottingham Forest fought back from a goal down to draw 1-1 with Brentford at the City Ground Stadium as Nicolas Dominguez's first goal and the hosts a point. Musa Niakate was sent off early in the second half before Brentford's captain Nojad put his side ahead in the 58th minute, marking his first goal of the season. The lead only lasted 7 minutes before Argentina international Dominguez leveled the scores with the diving header.
And he'll be on at the next break in play. And Morgan Gibbs White will be coming on as well. Will Forest still be on level terms when they arrive? The answer is no. Sangare.
Well, and on that EPL note is how we end today's edition of Sports. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Bernardo Kumu. It's a great one, a great night from me. But I hand you back to Regina Manyara to bring the curtains down on today's edition of Easy Sunday, Sunday Express Bulletin on Channel 1. Over to you, Ray.
Well, as they say, it is indeed the end of Sunday Express. We'll be sure to keep you updated on what is going to be transpiring in the coming week, given that we're going to be focusing on the president's tour of Kisumu County there, with the ICT and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary there saying that government is ready to do development projects in that particular region without prejudice. We'll be keeping tabs on that and so much more, including where the economy is at. Remember, it is the 1st of October. You have exactly more than 90 days to actualize this year's New Year's resolutions. I'm Regina Manyara. Have a pleasant evening ahead and a great start to the new week.
Government of Turkana welcomes you to the Ehale Center in Lodwar Town for the 7th edition of the Turkana Cultural and Tourism Festival. From 12th to the 14th of October 2023. Come, experience the origin of mankind with its unmatched beauty from the beaches of Lake Turkana to to the oil wells of Lokichar.